My name is Jennifer Voigt, and I am a teacher at the Individualized Learning Center in the Rockwood School District of St. Louis, Missouri. One, thank you, and thank Mrs. Rittenauer for honoring these teachers all across the nation for promoting literacy. And I just want to say to the person who nominated me, Mrs. Lushy, I think it means so much to have another colleague nominate you for something that she is just as qualified to win this award for. We have worked side by side tirelessly to help students read books and enjoy books. So for her to take the time to nominate me speaks volumes of her as a person. And I'm just so honored that she took the time, and our collaboration meant so much to her, for her to take the time to write in this award for me. She is probably one of the best educators and advocates for literacy that I've ever worked with. She understands that kids want to learn, but sometimes just don't know how, and she's taught me so much. So to be nominated by her means more to me than anything, just the fact that she nominated me. But the fact that I won, what an honor, what a great honor. Right, since I was a little girl, maybe 8 years old, I played school in my bedroom. I'd line up all my Barbie dolls and all of my stuffed animals, and I would read to them, and we'd do spelling words. And as I grew up, I continued that love. And my calling is working with at-risk kids. I know some people think that's crazy. I could go and teach AP literature. I could go teach Shakespeare to kids, who are just thirsty to talk about literature. But I like teaching kids that have never felt that. So my passion is to get a kid who's never read a book to finish that book, to recommend me to read that book, and then to share that book with others. That is my passion. And with Learning Ally, I've been able to do that so much better and so much easier, and with so much more support than me sitting with a student and reading a book out loud to them. Now they have a library that they can go to. And my passion is able to be honed in more with them, giving them that access. And it's just been wonderful. And so when we got trained in Learning Ally, and I was told by the librarian in the district that I had access to everything, whatever my kids wanted, I had access because of our program. It was like Christmas. I was showing them different books. We were listening to we were laughing at some of the different narrators and how they interpreted some of the characters. It was like Christmas. And we were able to download this for so many kids. I had a kid that was an essential employee during the pandemic at Walmart, and she had a long bus ride. So I said, you can put Learning Ally on your phone. And she's like, I can? I said, oh yeah, it's an app. Just put it on your phone. And she got through 3 novels driving back and forth to work because of Learning Ally, books she never would have read. And she ended up, passing my class, being virtual, and being an essential employee through Learning Ally. And we'd have great discussions over those books. So, the other example I have, a student who's a teen mom, she's raising a 2-year-old son, and she's helping her siblings go through virtual school. We gave her access to Learning Ally, and she's now reading to her son. So it is going, I could start crying there. Sorry. It's transcended so many kids' lives. And it is a wonderful program. And there are 2 authors that are tried and true to me that I have taught 10th grade. One is Elie Wiesel, and it's Night. It is a book that is very hard to read. It's set during the Holocaust, and it's a young boy's struggle. It's a memoir. The other one is A Child Called It by David Peltzer. And both books resonate with my students to the point where they are now asking driving questions about, well, could the Holocaust happen again? And I want to learn more. And what about abuse? How many times was this boy abused before somebody stepped in? Is that legal? And now they are researching, and they are driving their own knowledge based on books that they never would have read, but now they're connected to something. And that is, to me, learning. because they're now driving their own ship. I'm just guiding them, but the books help do that. So success to me is when I say you have 15 minutes at the end of your class to do whatever you want. You can get on your phone, you can watch YouTube, you can take a nap. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. And when they say, well, I want to listen to more of my book, then to me, that is academic success, because they are choosing to go above and beyond what has been asked of them in the class period. And then when they say to me, are there any more books from this author that you could recommend? That is, I have them do an investigative book project when they're seniors on one book that meant a lot to them. And they have to go on a whole different research trail. They have to research the author. They have to find quotes from the book that were meaningful. They have to find artwork and music that would relate to the book. They have to find a theme from the book and then find an expert in that theme, that message, and teach it to us. A book can take you in so many different pathways for learning. It's all how you market it to the kids. Truly, it is. And once they realize they can be successful in reading, then opportunities for learning are endless. Just because they're not reading the written word in a book, I think that with our society the way it is now, with TikTok and YouTube and all of these short bursts of information, it is really hard for a kid to sit quietly in a setting and read a book anymore. And we have to adapt. They are adapting. We have to adapt. So adding books on audio with different voices and different characters portrayed differently, and then showing movies that layer the literature with the book, it is how we have to start teaching literature to struggling kids. Really, we have to change. We have to change the music on the radio.